In 2013, I bought a small cleaning franchise business. Um, at the time, my thinking was to start this as a part-time and then hopefully grow it to a big organization, and hoping to provide some employment to people who can't find employment in the community, but as well as a way to learn more about business and have a profitable business. It was quite a small operation. It started well, but over time, the different challenges of running a franchise business, especially, or business in general, took hold. Sometimes lack of staff, lack of enough contracts or jobs from the franchisor. So many things. I ended up selling this business in 2016, and I would say I broke even, although there was so many things I learned about organizing business, scheduling, payments, even marketing. But of course, because it was a franchise business, there were some restrictions that came with it as well. For example, not being able to go out and finalizing, provide quotes. The quotes had to come from the franchisor directly. They would often compete on low cost, so their rates were actually quite low. So for me to hire people and then take even a small percentage was sometimes difficult, as it was already a lower hourly rate they were charging. As I said, this is my first experience with properly running a business, and it was a franchise business at that. Today we are going to look at, is it better running a franchise or an independent business? Is it better to start a franchise or start an independent business? What are the pros and cons? What options do you have? If you're looking to buy a franchise or start a business, this video is for you, as it will help you. By watching this video, it will help you think about certain things you may not have thought about, so you are better positioned and can choose the right franchise that might be, or start the right business that might be suitable for you. When you look into franchise or independent businesses, we should look at what are like the key characteristics of successful franchisees. You're more likely to be successful in running a franchise, so something that's got like a strong brand recognition and reputation. This would give you significant competitive advantage over other independent startups due to the customer trust and recognition as well of the brand. We can think about like running a McDonald's franchise, for example. Obviously very strong brand compared to like starting your own fast food restaurant. There's proven business models that you can get when you buy a franchise. The most successful franchises do offer comprehensive documented systems that franchises can reliably replicate or copy, and they should have detailed operation manuals, standardized procedures, and also proven like financial models as well. So like even with my story, when I bought that cleaning business, I would say it probably did not have a strong brand recognition, the one I started with, as a lot of people didn't know about it. However, they did have a proven business model that other franchisees had copied and were successful in applying. So another thing is comprehensive training and ongoing support. Like, do they offer comprehensive onboarding programs? And do they cover all aspects of the business operations? Do they give you ongoing assistance with marketing, operations, and problem solving as well when things arise eventually? That's one. Another is like, is it innovative, and does it have any market differentiation? Because successful franchises offer unique products or services usually that set them apart from competitors. So even within cleaning, for example, may not be the most innovative type of service, very basic, very necessary service, not as easy as people may think it is, but in there could be different things that could set you apart. You could offer additional services like upholstery cleaning, carpet cleaning, towel and grab cleaning, like different things, window cleaning, power wash, instead of just general cleaning, for example. So it does really also depend on how the franchise is organized. The Another thing is financial transparency and reasonable fee structure. So profitable franchises do maintain transparent financial reporting and reasonable fee structures. This does allow both the franchisor and franchisee to be profitable. Transparency is a really big one if you're looking at any franchises, and their fee structure should be reasonable. It shouldn't be there just to, their business model shouldn't just be based on fees that they make on their franchisees. There should be an equal opportunity for all to be profitable. Let's look at key characteristics of an independent business. So if you have an independent business, obviously you have complete autonomy. Independent owners retain full control over business decisions, branding, operations, and obviously you could earn potentially higher profits because there's no franchise fees or royalties, right? There's no one taking a cut. Everything is yours since it's your business completely. Another option, by the way, also is instead of starting a business, is potentially buying an existing business, and hopefully one that provides you immediate cash flow that's already got existing customer base and documented financial performance. It might be a higher cost generally than probably starting a business, but the reduced startup risk and faster market entry should offset that cost. And lastly, something most people may not consider is partnership or joint venture arrangements. These can provide like shared resources because the different people in the partnership, it could be 2 or 3 or more, bring different capital, different skills, and also they bring capital or money to the table. So you reduce your risk that way. You also have shared expertise and risk while maintaining more control than the usual franchise agreements. So let's just summarize this in the table for pros and cons. If we have a look at the franchise pros and cons, with franchises and immediate brand recognition, examples include, as I mentioned before, McDonald's, the Coffee Club, Jim's Group, especially the big one in Australia. The cons: high upfront costs, franchise fees and royalties as well. After that, it's a proven business model with lower failure rate. Franchises say up to 20-30% higher first year revenue and break even in 1 to 2 years compared to independent businesses. But the offset is like there's limited autonomy and creative control with strict operational rules. Franchises provide usually extensive training and ongoing support, networks and resources as well. But they do have also annual or monthly royalties and marketing fees because franchisees do usually participate or pay additional for marketing fees. This may not be true for all franchises. Another pro is easier access to financing due to brand trust. So you may be able to get loans or business loans easier because there's an existing trusted brand behind you that you're going into franchise agreement with. Another downside could be must comply with franchisor updates and terms. So there's less flexibility in innovation. So usually can't innovate within a franchise. Just have to follow a set system. It does give you operational efficiency, cost savings through established systems, but it does have contractual restrictions around terminating or selling the business. So that's another con. Let's have a look at the different pros and cons in summary for an independent business. It could be starting or buying a business here. So you have complete creative and operational autonomy, branding, pricing strategies decided independently. So yeah, you're in control. You can basically do what you want, set the price that you want, choose the right branding, but offset here is it has a higher risk of failure. Starting a business does have a higher risk of failure. New businesses are less likely to survive past 5 years compared to franchise especially. Another pro is all profits belong to the owner. There's no royalties or franchise fees. However, you must build brand from scratch. So starting from cash flow from scratch as well. Customer trust and loyalty can take years to build. There is flexibility in pivoting and innovating, like responding to quick market changes. If things change in the market or in the industry that you're in. But there is no built-in support, so the owner has to make all these changes and handle training, marketing, operations, basically everything. It does offer a lower initial cost at the start, and it is possible to scale up organically. However, it may struggle to obtain bank loans or funding without a track record. So it's very hard to get just a business loan without a really full business plan, which has to be approved by the bank. And because it's a new business, it may not even be funded. Another pro is freedom over business sale. So you can get out at any time or sell how you like. You can transfer to another person or exit the business. So there's less restrictions compared to a franchise. But it does come with a steeper learning curve, processes that you have to create yourself, systems and resources all from scratch. So these are the pros and cons of starting an independent business. And the choice between franchising and independent business ultimately depends on the person's risk tolerance, the amount of money or capital that they have, their desire for autonomy or maintaining control, and of course their entrepreneurial experience. People who don't have a lot of business experience, like myself when I started my cleaning franchise in 2013, it may be hard to get everything arranged from the beginning, so a franchise could be an option. So for those, that's why here I've mentioned that for those with limited capital and experience, low-cost franchises under 50,000 can provide an accessible entry point into business ownership with reduced risk and comprehensive support. So starting a business from scratch on your own, where you have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars, you're not sure, or there's no other person that's doing this with you, it could be a risky adventure. But obviously people do it every day, and as long as you know what you're doing, you should be successful. However, if you have limited experience, you may want to consider franchise, because it does give you the structure, and you just come in and plug into that system and structure and get going. What are some franchises you may be able to start for under 50,000? This would be what we look at on the next video. Please subscribe and keep the notifications on so you can be notified when we release that video. Thank you.